What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of CubReacts. Today, we are getting into this one, a brand new drop from Killy and Harmonize. It goes by the name Ni Wewe. First time reacting to Killy on the channel, but it's a name I keep seeing pop up in sort of conjunction with what Harmonize is doing. Very exciting stuff indeed. Looking down here, I believe the translation means it's you, and it's a Swahili word, so there may be a bit of a language barrier on this one, but as always, we're here to react to the sonic side of things rather than the lyricism, so hopefully you guys can still enjoy this technical analysis and musical breakdown. As always, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you are hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff. A massive welcome to all of the new subscribers to the channel. Without further ado, let's crack on with this one. Killy and Harmonize, Ni Wewe. Video looks wicked so far. Okay. I love that guitar line. So from the jump, the production value on this is relatively stripped back. Like, we're looking at something which is primarily focused around the vocal melodies rather than the melodies of the instrumental. We've got the quite punchy sounding kick drums that are taking a real lead. We've also got this sort of guitar line, very acoustic sounding, that runs throughout the heart of the tune. Very interesting sort of makeup on this one, very electronic, and I'm liking the sort of angle that Killy's coming with vocal-wise again. Very delicate in the vocal performance, but it sounds great so far. Let's see where we go. Syncopated horns, they get me every time. It's weirdly satisfying listening through it, because it's almost like we expect those horns to appear, and they appease us. They give us what we want to hear as listeners. Really, really nice use of syncopated horns on this one, just kind of stuttering them in, throwing them in at random, and just sprinkling them into the mix just to give it a little bit more kind of a little bit more depth as a composition. Again, the bass line on this is pretty big. We've got this big sort of booming subline, again, very digital in the way it sounds, and it gives a lot of depth to the lower end of the arrangement. The video looks great as well. This is a really enjoyable tune so far, man. I'm liking it. I'm liking the direction, I'm liking the musical arrangement, and I'm liking the vocal performance especially. Switching those guitars up as well. This is catchy as well, man. Yeah, just that slow kind of introduction with the sort of backing vocals as well, giving it an extra sense of depth. I love the rhythm on this. Again, rolling with pretty typical sort of sounding 4x4 drums, but the digital nature of the tune makes it sound a lot more kind of square and a lot more kind of robust in its sort of rhythmic value. Again, I love the fact we're getting the vocal expansion. We're starting to hear those more sort of harmonic structures coming into the vocal lines as well, and also the kind of switch up of the guitar line throughout the tune as well. It's turned from a very sort of acoustic sound to a much more electronic sound as it's gone forward. The whole track sort of digitalizes as it goes forward, and it works really, really well. I don't wanna do you wrong. Oh, baby, Ni Wewe. Even though it's electronic, I love it. The horns on this are really nostalgic. I don't know why. The way they're recorded, maybe the sort of compression or the processing that's gone onto them gives them an almost like, it almost feels like we're listening to them sampled from a vinyl. It sounds like we're listening to them from like back in like the 60s or 70s. That sort of way they're crackling throughout the mix just sounds so organic and natural. And again, when you compare that to the electronic sounding vocals, which are so much more kind of auto-tuned and digital in the way they sound, it's a really nice kind of, the contrast between the two just adds a nice sense of space to the tune, which I really like. I love hearing contrast within tunes, almost like a back and forth. I'm not too sure about them running over and playing in the video where there's no actual horns playing. It's a little bit bizarre, but it sounds good. Let's go, Harmonize. Just effortless, man. Just the way he appears on tunes, man. He has this kind of natural charisma that just works even in his vocal tone. He just slides into tunes and he just sounds like he's supposed to be there at all times. A lot of artists genuinely struggle with that thing of like sounding like they're supposed to be on the tune. And this sort of back and forth between the two really, really works. You've got a lot, they're both got quite delicate vocals. I feel Killy has a slightly higher range vocal and then Harmonized is slightly deeper. So that sort of transition between the two vocals works really nicely. I love the fact we've got this kind of horn-based bridge between the two sections. This verse so far sounds great. It's a wicked feature. I like the transition of the video going back into the party scene. Again, I do apologise for any language barriers. Obviously, I can't speak Swahili, so it's an annoying one. But I am here to kind of measure the sonics more than anything else. And the general vibe of the tune is definitely what is described in the translation of the title. Obviously, it's you. It definitely seems to be quite a love song in the way it's structured. The actual melodic approach gives it a very sort of love song sort of feel. And again, the transition between the two vocals works really well. I love that bit in the video where it just takes you've got the kind of shot of the pair of them, and then they kind of switch up and move into a crowded room. It's a really cool piece of camera work. Quite understated, but works really, really well. And again, wicked feature from Harmonize so far. I love the transitioning on this. The moving around different sections works really cleanly. Again, it's quite a nerdy thing to discuss, but it's something that I always notice when it's done well. Those harmonies are wicked. Kind of those backing vocals drifting in and out of the tune are definitely giving it an extra sense of depth. I'm loving the fact that we're getting such a wide range of vocal displays. It's not just about one lead vocal and a chorus. No, the whole sort of structure of this one is constantly folding in and moving around on top of itself, which works really well. I've got to say, this is a cool link up. It's the first time hearing Killy on the channel. We've done a fair few things on Harmonize at this point. I know there are a fair few Harmonize fans who follow the channel, and it's great to see, man. It's great to see just this consistency from him this year. I saw an Instagram post where he said he's going to be dropping a tune a month. I don't know if this is included in that, but he's going to be dropping a video a month this year, which is crazy to think about. That vocal's wicked. Love those horns, man. They just remind me of like old school jazz or like old school ska. The way I don't know what it is about their processing, whether they're sampled or whatever. It just sounds like you're listening to them on like an old dusty vinyl that's spinning around through like an old player for an old stereo system. There's something about that kind of dusty texture on horn lines which always sounds great, and it's something that gives them a bit more realism, you know, and it just gives a little bit more depth to the arrangement. What we're going to do is let this one finish off, and then we'll get into our breakdown at the end. It's a wicked link up. The video is good as well. That's a very wavy outfit that Harmonize is wearing, looking like the mask, Jim Carrey's mask. But it looks good though, man. Again, I love the shirt as well. Just everything about this, man. It's a very enjoyable video to watch, both sonically and visually pleasing. I think they do a really good job of making the most out of the video on what looks to be a moderately limited budget. They definitely get a lot out of it. I think as well as that, the actual track itself is great. The instrumental, very minimal. We get a very wide display of sort of vocal abilities, shall we say, from Killy and Harmonize. The way they kind of interweave as well works really nicely. That constant transition in and out of very electronic sounding processing, both on the actual instrumental and vocal sets, works really cleanly as well. And overall, this is a solid collaboration. Definitely one that I'm enjoying, and I'm loving this sort of killing spree that Harmonize is on at the moment, just constantly dropping banger after banger. Really cool stuff. So here we go then, people. If you did enjoy this technical analysis and musical breakdown, please make sure you are hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. And don't forget to get your requests in via the comment section down below. We do read every single comment that comes onto the page. That's it from me though. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening, and we shall catch you all next time. Peace.
Baddest sound in a Brighton town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CubCamTV. Stay locked.